Hey Crypto Tips, this is Kent. I'm hijacking Heidi and Toby's feed to bring you knowledge about the Bitcoin markets, Bitcoin mining, and just some stuff I'm seeing going on. Toby, I was chatting with him. He thought this would be some useful information. I think it's kind of cool too. But I've been working in the Bitcoin mining space about the last 6 months, and we just went through something that I think is hard to really get your head wrapped around the magnitude of it. But China just basically shut down its entire mining industry. That was somewhere near about 50% of the hash rate. Hash rate is the security behind the Bitcoin network. It's what makes sure that your transactions go through and make sure that nobody can hack the network. So what happened, the Chinese Communist Party came along for various potential reasons. Nobody knows exactly why. They said, hey, time to get out of here, guys. And so literally the network, basically over the course of a couple weeks, all the miners there have been shut down. Here, I work for a company out of the US, and we've been getting lots of phone calls, Chinese miners looking to place their mining equipment. There's just a shortage of power and power infrastructure that's available right now. And so it's going to make it a very interesting time to see what happens. But I actually want to talk about the network and how the network is adapting, because Bitcoin is actually designed to deal with this sort of a change. So basically, we had what could be considered one of the biggest attacks on the Bitcoin network, and the difficulty decreased. That meant that the block times, instead of coming out every 10 minutes, at one point they're coming out as long as like 24, 25 minutes per block, more than double the normal time. And so what happened is just yesterday, or maybe the day before, there was a difficulty adjustment. So basically every 2,000 blocks or so, there's a difficulty adjustment. And if the blocks aren't coming out on average every 10 minutes, well, then the protocol just adjusts the difficulty and says, hey miners, it's now going to be easier for you to mine blocks, or miners, it's going to be harder for you to find new blocks. So in this way, the network actually regulates how the blocks come out, so keeping that at 10 minutes. So in this case, because so much hash rate had gone offline, the block times are getting very long, and so we just experienced a 28% decrease in the block times. What's significant about that is basically this open monetary network just had the biggest attack that's ever experienced, and there is literally no change. Blocks are coming back out 10, 11, 12 minutes right now. Everything's adapting. And in hindsight, this experience, I believe, is going to make the institutional and big investors extremely bullish about the space, because what it's showing is even a state level attack like what China just did, the Bitcoin network is shrugging off. It's just showing how anti-fragile it is, how it can't be taken down. And in the long run, China, I think, is going to be seen as making perhaps the most critical blunder of its 100-year, or at least the CCP, its 100-year anniversary. I think in its 100 years of history, this may strategically be seen as the worst mistake they've ever made. Because here they had potentially the ability to control the Bitcoin network, and they just pushed it out. So all that hash rate is distributing across Russia, Kazakhstan. I'm talking to people in Ethiopia, of all places, El Salvador, the USA. So this is going to be a wonderful thing, because the network is going to get more distributed. It's going to prove to everybody that it's anti-fragile. So, when it comes to price, I'm not going to say this is the bottom here, but I will say that a lot of the negative vibe that's come out from China, I don't see how they could do much worse to the price at this point, And that brings me to the second topic. I kind of wanted to talk about the markets themselves and what's going on, their price, what I see is going on. And I'll just be completely blunt with you. If you hear anybody telling you they know what's going to happen next, run away. Because it's the markets. Nobody truly knows. You can make educated guesses based on probabilities to have an edge, but we really don't know what's going to happen. In hindsight, it may look absolutely obvious that we've already bottomed at this point, and in hindsight, it may look absolutely foolish that we thought this was the bottom. I don't know. We're at one of those points where we're kind of at the lower end of this range between like 30K and 40K that we've been bouncing around in for about 7 weeks now. there's some potential signs that, hey, maybe we formed a bottom here. There's some potential signs that we haven't. So I would say just, keep your head on a swivel right now. Be prepared for both directions, whatever you're planning to do. How would it affect your life if Bitcoin was suddenly trading at 20,000, for instance? How would it affect your life if Bitcoin was suddenly above 40,000? In my mind, really the wise thing to do in this point, if you're trying to trade or trying to get into the markets for a long-term position, well, two different things. If you're trying to trade, I think the clearest thing is to wait for some sort of breakout of this 30 to 40K range, either direction. For long-term position though, this is a great opportunity to cost average in, buy set fixed amounts while we're at range lows, and just know we might go lower still, but don't blow all your dry powder right now. That would be my advice. So anyway, hope this helps, gives you guys some insight on what's going on in the Bitcoin mining space right now, and also a little bit of my take on the markets, the Bitcoin markets, and price action. So yeah, give this a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my newsletter, find me on the social medias. Twitter is where I'm most active, and let's stay in touch. Thanks.